Hansi Flick, the boss of Barcelona, has sent a stunning personal message to Danny Rohl, calling his move to Rangers a massive step. Meanwhile, Andrew Cavenagh promises to open the checkbook in January, and Kevin Thelwell, he's finally admitted what many feared. He underestimated the size of Rangers Football Club. On top of that, he's defending the controversial hiring of his own son and doubling down on that baffling £8 million gamble on Youssef Chermiti. Alex Neil speaks out on Rangers manager developments. Tom English mocks Kevin Thelwell over what he said at Danny Rohl unveiling. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be asking, how much more can you really take? First up, the madness and the mayhem surrounding Rangers' managerial hunt has finally reached a conclusion, though not without its fair share of drama, dodged calls, and eyebrow-raising candidates. Russell Martin's tenure was brought to an end earlier this month after a run of results that wouldn't look out of place in a relegation battle, a brutal spell at Ibrox that saw performances sink like a stone in the Clyde. The board turned to familiar faces. Steven Gerrard flirted with the idea before doing a U-turn that'd make a taxi driver dizzy. Kevin Muscat then followed by politely declining the hot seat himself. Eventually, it's Danny Rohl who's been handed the keys to the Ibrox dugout. Third time lucky, or a third disaster waiting to happen. Alex Neil, now at Millwall, weighed in on TalkSport, highlighting how both Rangers and that mob across the city, Celtic, seem rudderless and restless. He also mentioned Hearts' new investment and suggested they could play dark horse this season. And honestly, Alex Neil himself, he would have been a serious contender, a no-nonsense Scot with a promotion CV thicker than Brendan Rodgers' ego, up with Norwich, up with Sunderland, and doing the business now at the Den. One to watch, perhaps, if things with Rohl go south. Here's the thing, Rohl may talk the talk, but can he walk it in the pressure cooker of Ibrox with a title race on the line and a support that won't accept second best? Would you have preferred Alex Neil in the dugout over Rohl, or has the club made its third choice feel like third best? Now, to the circus that was Danny Rohl's unveiling, less a press conference and more a comedy sketch. Alongside Rohl stood the usual suspects, Patrick Stewart, Andrew Cavenagh, and Kevin Thelwell. The latter managing to drop a line that's got folk talking for all the wrong reasons. When questioned about hiring his own son Robbie as head of recruitment, Thelwell defended the move by claiming his boy went through the most rigorous process of anyone at the club. He also claimed Robbie would work 25/8 for Rangers. That's right, not 24/7, 25/8. The sort of nonsense that sounds like it was dreamt up in a PR workshop over coffee and cluelessness. BBC's Tom English couldn't resist taking the mick, joking whether Robbie should be working 26/9 instead. But the reality is this ain't funny. Thelwell's appointment of his son reeks of cronyism, and at a time when Rangers need sharp minds, not favours for the family tree. With Celtic stumbling, this was the moment to get things right, yet here we are with comedy quotes overshadowing critical structure. Is bringing in his own son just bad optics? Or a sign Rangers are still miles off the standards this club demands? Hansi Flick, the man who led Bayern Munich to a Champions League title, ran the German national side, and now finds himself at Barcelona. That Hansi Flick has heaped praise and support on the new Rangers boss, Danny Rohl. Rohl's been speaking to Sky Sports and shared a message that Flick sent him straight after the Rangers job was confirmed. It wasn't just a casual, well done, either. Flick called Ibrox a special club and said he was genuinely happy that Rohl had joined this institution. He told Rohl he'd be crossing his fingers for him and that if he ever needs anything, advice or even just a chat, the phone line's always open. Now think about that for a second. A coach with the pedigree of Flick, not just backing Rohl, but openly showing admiration for Rangers. That doesn't happen every day. This is the kind of statement that slices through the noise. Celtic can bang on about their supposed European pedigree all they like, but when someone of Flick's stature singles out Rangers with that level of respect, it tells you exactly where the real gravitas lies in Scotland. Rohl's clearly been doing his homework. He's spent 16 years absorbing knowledge from top minds like Ralph Rangnick and Ralph Hasenhüttl. Now, he's taking all that experience and pouring it into Ibrox, and he's bringing a proper backroom blend with him too. 2 coaches from Germany and 1 assistant from within the Rangers family, someone who understands the heartbeat of this club and this league. That matters. That shows intent. He's not just here to collect a wage and make excuses. He's here to build, to shape, to fight for silverware. And with a mentor like Flick in his corner, that's a powerful advantage. But here's what nags at you. Why does it take a man from Germany, backed by a Barcelona boss, to show this level of ambition and respect for the Rangers job when so many so-called British candidates turned their noses up at it? Is this proof that Rangers are still viewed with more prestige outside Scotland than within? And now we turn to some long overdue honesty from the top of the club. Andrew Cavenagh, speaking on Sky Sports, has admitted what every Rangers supporter has known since August. This squad isn't complete, not even close. In his own words, the board didn't believe it coming out of the summer window, and the plan now is to sit down with Danny Rohl over the next 2 months and identify exactly what's needed ahead of January. More experience, more steel, more bite, not another batch of projects and potential. This time, it's about proven players who can handle the weight of that badge and the fury of Ibrox when standards slip. And here's the key bit. Cavenagh confirmed that if something must be done in the January window, the money will be there. That's right. Rangers are willing to spend, again, if it means getting this season back on track. Now, let's not gloss over the facts. 14 new players came in during the summer. Names like Chermiti, Antman, and Miovski were meant to ignite a new era, but the league table doesn't lie. 1 win from 8 games and an average squad age that screams inexperience. Even Celtic must be raising an eyebrow at how badly this has started, but Cavenagh says the struggles only fueled their determination. He claims the challenge was never going to be easy, but even he admits they didn't expect to be this far off the pace already. It's a rare bit of transparency from the top, and to be fair, it's better than more boardroom spin. Still, talk is cheap. January's coming fast. If this squad is going to be reshaped, it needs to be bold, not budget conscious. After a summer of mixed results and a start that's left the support fuming, do you actually trust this board to spend wisely in January? Or are you bracing for another window of excuses dressed up as ambition? And now, here it is, the moment when the suits tried to smooth over chaos with carefully polished sound bites, but ended up revealing far more than they probably meant to. Kevin Thelwell, the Rangers sporting director, the man at the heart of a string of bewildering decisions, came out and admitted something that should make you sit up straight. He underestimated the size of Rangers Football Club. Let that sink in. The man responsible for shaping the squad, selecting the manager, and setting the tone for the footballing strategy, walked into Ibrox not fully understanding the scale, the pressure, or the expectation that comes with managing a club of this magnitude. That admission alone tells you plenty about why the start to this season has been so calamitous. Let's get into the details. Thelwell was grilled at Danny Rohl's unveiling, though Rohl barely got a word in edgeways, as the real show was the board's damage control. The entire recruitment model sounds more like a hedge fund strategy than a footballing philosophy, trading assets, flipping potential. Meanwhile, Rangers are 8th in the league, and the comparisons to Russell Martin, they're not going away. Similar profile, similar risk, and similar uncertainty. Thelwell claims Danny Rohl is different. Different pedigree, different ideas, different background. And yes, working with Hansi Flick at Bayern and Germany does count for something, but so far, it's all promise. Rangers don't need promise, they need points. So here's what you've got to ask yourself after watching this board bungle a manager search, appoint family, and spend millions on unproven talent. Is the real problem at Rangers not the coaches or players at all, but a leadership team that simply doesn't understand what this club actually means? Because if they didn't get it before, how can you trust them to get it right now? Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. See you soon.